our first orientation trip, sitting around the campfire, realized that this is definitely where I was meant to go, because it just everything that I love, which is academics and sports and being active, and everything just bundled up into one school is perfect for a kid, and everything that a kid needs to survive and even more than that, thrive in their middle school years.
So every student has to have the deal meeting with Brian, the headmaster. What it was is you had to promise that you will be kind, try your best, and you will bring something of yourself to the school. Then you would shake hands, and every kid here, they're not just coming here because their parents want them to, but they're coming because they want to.
The first day of school, of course, everybody was a little bit nervous and not knowing what to expect, but we pulled up into the parking lot and all the students were out front, the 7th and 8th and 9th graders, all holding signs up with a student's name on them. Every student had a name of an incoming student. All enthusiastic and happy and welcoming, and Owen got out searching around for his name, and he found some kids with his name, and they greeted him warmly and took him in, and I was just so happy that he was so warmly welcomed, and I just knew it was a great start.
The adventure begins when everything goes not according to plan, where let's say you get a flat tire, then it's just in the back of my head, because I'm a bike monkey, in the back of my head I'm there's another flat tire, there's another broken chain, why do I always have to do this? But then I also keep on thinking, wow, this is where it starts to get interesting. This is where, it wouldn't be as fun if it was just an easy ride, 3 miles every day, and we didn't really get everywhere, and we'd only went out for 2 or 3 days.
Sue and I chose SBMS for both Logan and Dylan because of the depth of the program, both socially, academically, and in reality, emotionally. The kids get an exposure to education that's a whole child.
I wanted to come to Santa Barbara Middle School for the teachers. When I shadowed at the teachers and the kids, because when I shadowed at Santa Barbara Middle School, they were so nice. They reached out to me, and that just stuck with me throughout the whole year.
We picked middle school for both of our daughters because middle school really gets this age group. They just do. They understand that animal. And I think it is a very particular time in a kid's life that they need certain things. And I think what middle school does really well is not only present challenges and give responsibility to them, but the challenges they give are not only just for them. It's an amazing accomplishment to help someone else do that as well. So it's outside of themselves. And at that age, that's a gift.
The progress is really dictated by the student's self-motivation. And when you have that, then the student really senses that it's a process, of lifelong learning.
When I was in 8th grade, I wanted to take a year of math ahead of what was offered. They were able to work with me and work around it, and I was able to take classes that some of the 9th graders were taking. So they cater to you academically.
Spanish definitely came to use, and I could speak much more than I thought I could to people. Found myself saying, "Me gustaría un helado pequeño, por favor."
A student I think that thrives well at middle school is someone who's kind, tries their hardest, and puts themselves out there.
The relationship that teachers and students have at Santa Barbara Middle School is nothing you're ever going to experience again.
I love the teachers at middle school. I think I wished I had the teachers at middle school when I went to school myself. There is something about all the teachers in that they really live what they preach. They set a great example that way. You cannot come home, the kids can't come home and tell us, look, I don't want to do this. Or I can't push myself when I'm out there because look, all the teachers are doing it. And so I think it's great role models.
So our older daughter, Tess, who's in college, has this comfort level with her professors that she directly attributes to her experiences at middle school. The friendly relationship she had with her teachers at middle school gave her the permission to question, to challenge her professors, because she's an active participant in her own learning, which is the greatest gift you can give a kid.
When Logan started high school, I was concerned that he was leaving from a very small environment to a very large environment, and that would be a great impact to him. His approach to the high school was exceptional, not only from an academic standpoint, but from a social standpoint. He was able to speak to his teachers at the high school like he spoke to his teachers at the middle school, and approach them to advocate for himself on a regular basis, as well as he fit very nicely within a social scene that were both the middle school children as well as others that he had met at the high school.
The boys transformed through 7th grade, 8th grade and into 9th grade. Their confidence became really apparent, their ability to lead became apparent. They left 9th grade learning to cope and learning to be able to meet the challenges of high school.
She was in a quantitative physics class, and we happened to meet the teacher. And the teacher said to us, "Did your daughter go to middle school?" And we said, "Yes." "Why would you ask that?" He said, "Middle school kids are different." He said, they approach me differently. They have a curiosity. They have a hunger for knowledge that is just a little different.
When I came in here in 7th grade, I realized that the way that they taught their students was not only creative, but also really challenging. And they hold you to expectations, and they believe that you can meet those expectations.
How it served me all the way through those changes in my life in ways that I wouldn't have anticipated, and I knew how to get through challenges. And so when my girls were of the age to consider where they're going to go for junior high, it was really a shoo-in for me that I wanted them to have that same experience. And it was clear to me through their experience, so I've seen them be challenged and be loved and be nurtured and feel really safe, and they just blossomed.
We were told that by the time the boys would leave 9th grade, that they would know who they are and how to learn. And that's exactly what happened. And it was an amazing progression. It was a stepping stone. So I think the scope and sequence of the classes and just the culture of the school and how they put it all together in a building block fashion, all culminating very much in the 9th grade, was a thing to see.
And this is an interesting part about middle school, how the diamond works. She was working on some project, and it was really hard, really hard. And I asked her, "How was that going?" And she said, "Oh, really hard." She goes, "But Mom, I've done the middle school trips. I can do anything." And I thought, it translates. It translates. It's like that kind of confidence that one is biking up a mountain or, hiking in a canyon, and she feels like she can do an academic program, that might be really challenging, but she knows she's done it. She knows she has it in her. So that was, Neil and I looked at each other like, price of admission.
Santa Barbara Middle School is a defining educational experience, creating a love of learning, self-confidence, and resilience to last a lifetime. The middle school age is our specialty. This is that moment in your child's life. Don't miss it.